Hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar from IoT 83 today on busting IoT myths. I think we've got a lot of really interesting things to share with you today, and we look forward to that. I'm Lee House, the CEO of IoT 83, and my co-presenter today is Deep Nair, founder and CTO and EVP of Sales of IoT 83. And we're really looking forward to busting some of the myths around deploying successful IoT applications. I'm going to turn off my camera and let's get started. So the first thing that is worth understanding is so many IoT projects, up to 76%, fail to deliver on the expectations that companies have in terms of trying to achieve the benefits of IoT. The main reason for this is historically applications have been built in a monolithic and closed system, closed platform way, increasing the cost, risk, and time to market for these applications. The solution that we will present here as a part of this webinar is to build applications on a versatile, smart, programmable platform. This completely transforms success rates. From our perspective, we're seeing 100% success rate of IoT and digital transformations using this methodology. So the myths that we want to bust today, IoT is just about sensors and devices. IoT is only about the cloud. IoT solutions are simple to build. Any platform can solve the IoT use cases. IoT takes a long time to realize a return on investment. IoT platforms are standalone versus complete systems, and the IoT journey is long, hard, and costly. There's a lot to address in all of these myths, and so let's get started. The first myth we want to jump into is that IoT is just about sensors and devices. Well, there's no doubt that connecting to the telemetry information of edge devices and edge sensors is essential to IoT, and that's what brought about the whole IoT revolution. But connecting to sensors and devices is not enough. Clearly, that's important, but what you need is an open platform that allows you to connect to all of your business systems. You want to be able to connect not only to devices, but also to databases, to existing applications that are important to your business. Connect to your enterprise business tools, your business information tools, third-party systems, all sorts of different elements that bring your OT, IT, and business technology systems together. So this is just one example of how an open system like this can be used. For example, you can use a platform like the Flex83 platform to create unified enterprise data lakes. You could have streaming information, Mongo information out in AWS S3, MySQL, Cassandra, all sorts of different data types that can be brought in and normalized in order to create a unified value proposition for your business and for your customers for a highly integrated IT, OT, BT solution. It's important to be able to connect to machines, databases, enterprise information, web applications, middleware, documents, and third-party elements. And whether that's AWS, Azure, Google, or existing applications, being able to connect all of these things together as a part of your IoT solution is transformative in terms of the ultimate value that an IoT application delivers. The next myth is that IoT is only about cloud. One of the things that we think is extremely important in any IoT solution is portability and elasticity. You want to be able to cover all kinds of deployment topologies, whether that's cloud or edge or embedded applications. So if you look at the application enablement platform, Flex83, that IoT 83 provides, this can be deployed in public clouds, private clouds, or even on edge appliances. This is one tech stack that can be ported into any of these application needs and requirements. And also, one of the things that's extremely important is to be able to address sort of a hierarchical approach. So yes, there's a lot of aggregation that can take place up at the IoT cloud. Information can be gathered at the IoT edge. Smart gateways and smart devices can be aggregated into the solution, and even edge device agents can be pushed into constrained devices to make these all part of a integrated IoT solution. The next myth, IoT solutions are easy to build. This is true and it's not true. So if you use the sort of old methodology of pulling from the sea of different technologies that are available to construct a system, you can build a system this way, but it takes a lot of time to learn the tools, to integrate the tools, to make them all, and then to make them all work as a fully integrated and complete platform. If you look at IoT as a service from the likes of Google or AWS or Azure, this helps because it's a more curated set with a set of recipes. But there's still a tremendous amount of learning and integration as you go to build all of these into a complete and coherent system, because reliability, security, scalability, the ability to efficiently operate and scale are all an essential piece of an industrial grade IoT application. And it takes a lot of time, energy, and frankly, risk in order to pull all of this together. And this is one of the reasons that there's so many projects have failed, because of all of the investment before you see a return on your capital. So, using these methodologies, moving from concept to application, there's a huge gap and learning curve. Even with IoT as a service and data management platforms to build, operate, and run your application, there's a huge gap. And as we said before, 76% plus of these applications fail, or these projects fail to deliver on their planned results. But leveraging an application enablement platform like our Flex 83, this problem is completely transformed. You have proven scale for rapid application development, and it dramatically cuts the IoT program risk, cost, and time to market. And probably most importantly, allows you to cut through the worries on technology and immediately focus on solving problems, not the underlying plumbing of IoT. And another thing that's really important is you build an entire platform, you want all of these elements to be a part of your solution. It needs to be enterprise simple, where you've got rapid application development for powerful solutions. You ease the extensibility and integration of multiple devices, applications, and software elements. You streamline cloud edge convergence, and you have tenant control and simplified personalization. This simplified personalization is something that we'll come back to. The old school methodologies of creating this makes you go back to code every time you want to do some modification or customization or different context for different tenants or customers. Whereas, built into a application enablement platform, this personalization is very straightforward. But the solution also needs to be industrial grade. You need efficient DevOps and auto scaling for your application as your solution scales. You need a marketplace to be able to publish and launch your services and applications to make it simple for your users to actually enjoy the applications you've created. You have to have full telco grade fault tolerance and FCAPs as a part of the solution. IoT solutions need to be always on quality. You have to have agile development processes to make it easy to manage lifecycle and enhance the solutions. And finally, you need elasticity and portability for deployment versatility. We talked about this earlier, whether you're going to deploy in a data center, a public cloud, a hybrid cloud, or even as an appliance, or integrating the IoT solution with Smart Edge. I'm actually going to flip over for a second, talking about how how the application enablement platforms completely change the equation. This is a view of our application enablement platform, Flex83. And what I'm going to kind of click through right now is what does it take to add a device to this solution. As you can see, we've got a lot of different device types that are already connected to the solution. I'm going to pick this backup generator just to show you, how easy it is to add a new device. All you have to do is name the device, instantiate the reporting frequency that you want. Is it a fixed or movable asset type? Is it a hub or a gateway? Do you want to enable raw data? Adding some images. These will be used in automatic dashboard creation, so it's important to add some pretty pictures to the solution. And then once that's set up, all you have to do is start forwarding using the secure credentials that are provided here. Start forwarding data to the application. Once that's done, the system automatically picks up the data that is coming in, and you go to a configuration page where you just say, okay, for the different telemetry data, this particular one has got radio signal strength, current, fuel, oil pressure, RPMs, temperature, voltage. All of this is just automatically picked up by the system, and you just click through, what sort of alarms and alert thresholds would you want to see as your data comes in. There's a few other areas that you go into to decorate your application. And once that's all done, the system automatically creates a rich set of dashboards. So you can literally build an application within minutes. So, we've got the map view, of all the devices. And then we've got we drill down and we can see this particular device, where we can see the device itself, core information about it, its location, device controls, and then the topology map of how the device is connected to the network. This particular device is being driven by a simulation that is actually running on the platform itself. This is simulating a remote generator as well as a pump station associated with that generator. I'm going to show you right now how that the platform can very easily be configured to send message, receive, but also send message on a control channel back to edge devices. So here we see the simulation. I've got the debug window open, and so I go back here. I say emergency off. I saw conditions in the system that made me want to turn this thing off. So here I just sent the emergency off, and so the system just went into a reset mode. I can do other things. I can go into a set alarm beacon mode, and so I go back here. Yep, we just set the alarm beacon. All of this. When I do that, this is the output of the edge device itself. We can see that the actions that I'm taking are causing the device to be reset. So it's an extremely powerful capability to be able to quickly, instantiate new devices, configure them, and dynamically create all of these different dashboards in a way that you can easily control, not only receive data from your devices, but also easily control them. This insights page is also dynamically created. Say, for example, I'm interested in understanding the relationship between oil pressure, RPM, and current, and I see a little spike here on current when the RPM goes up, and I'm curious, how does that influence voltage, for example? And so I can do a lot of analytics on these different systems as I see anomalies in the application. There's automatically created aggregations to give you further information about what's going on with your overall system. You can set up events. I'll just take a quick look at this one. This emergency shutdown event. This event management allows you to set arbitrarily complicated rules about when you should take certain actions. So, for example, this one's fairly simple. When the engine is running, if the oil pressure falls below 100, then I want to send a control. In this particular control, I'm sending the emergency off. I want to shut the generator down. Obviously, oil pump is failing, and I do not want to run to failure. So it's easy to set up these triggers and conditions. And then on the triggers and conditions, as well as the configuration that we set up earlier, we've got alarm and alert management associated with these different devices. So you can see the different alarm conditions. You can clear the alarms or act on the alarms or forward the alarms to your agents for resolution. There's also we've automatically created is uptime information, etc. So with that, I think it's pretty clear how quickly you can. I just lost my screen here. How quickly you can. Sorry, I'm having a technical difficulty. One moment. Here we go. So I think it's really clear based on what I just demonstrated, how quickly you can overcome that hurdle by using an application enablement platform to rapidly build solutions. So here's myth number 4. Any platform can solve IoT use cases. So the thing is, modern application development requires a high level of flexibility at multiple levels. What you actually want to do is you need a solution that simplifies development, operations, and business. So you want to simplify development, lower your cost, risk, and time to market. This is one of the main reasons that IoT programs fail. They simply go on too long before a return on investment is realized. So you need this SaaS level of maturity. Make it easy to manage per tenant personalization and customizations. From an operations perspective, you need to be able to simplify deployment and the management of lifecycle for your overall operations. So you need proven reliability, integrated DevOps, and cloud portability. From a business perspective, you've got to have a cost-efficient path to solving real customer issues. If it takes months and years to deliver your applications, the program success is already in question. So you need a great CapEx or OpEx model to deploy the system and a fast path to return on investment. Digging a little bit deeper into that, this is sort of the old way of building applications where the value to cost ratio is completely out of whack. You realize some value, but at the cost of achieving it is just too high. The reason for this is you're building the entire application. What you really want is this function, this KPI management, this application that you're trying to create, but you have to build all of this in order to achieve it. So only a fraction of your spend is on the application itself, and the result is the time and development cost is prohibitive. And using this methodology, it's nearly impossible to achieve the kind of personalization and custom context that your applications and customers will really need. And the business flexibility is really absent. And the unit economies that we talked about, the value versus cost, are very, very high. Using an application enablement platform is completely different. So on the left, we show all of the things that you have to do in order to build your application. And this represents the large team that is required to do it. You need your research and domain team, the development team, operational team, sustenance team, field operations team, DevOps team, business team. But with an application enablement platform, all of these components in blue are already built for you. There are a set of services that allow you to just directly focus on the application context that you need. So with a far smaller team, you deliver far more. So how does it work? So the beauty of Flex 83 is the combination of services that are built into the system. So we've got connectors and the connector studio in the marketplace to let you connect anything to anything. That can be connecting external systems, internal systems, third-party devices, third-party applications, etc. So once all of this is the connectors from the applications have been instantiated, all of those can be fed into the dynamic ETL engine. So The dynamic ETL engine lets you take all sorts of different data formats and transform them into something that is more common and applicable to the application that you're trying to create. And any input can be pushed into any database of your choice. Different databases can be fed through this system to collect into a common database. You can have a common data lake. You may have need for these different databases for different purposes in your application, etc. So you've got all the data ingested, you've transformed it. It's now located in a format and collections that make sense for your application. And now you can easily operate on that data using the code engine and the containerization capabilities that the platform provides. Once that is done, you can also leverage the analytics and machine learning workflows that are integrated into the system. And once your application is created, it is automatically scalable on the portable, secure, and proven elastic core. So we have the application enablement tools to allow you to achieve rapid application development, but also you can easily deploy these solutions. So connect anything to anything, any database, any custom logic, any analytics. Easily build, launch, scale, and evolve your applications. With that, I'm going to show a few more snippets of what the platform provides. The platform comes with a complete identity access management solution to create roles, build new users, create user groups, etc. The solution also comes with a marketplace of different components of software. So say, for example, you knew you needed a load balancer for your application, or you needed NoSQL databases for your application, or you need SQL databases for your application. We're constantly adding to the marketplace, but we've built in a lot of different solutions into the marketplace to make it really quick to build new solutions. And so once the marketplace is instantiated, you say, okay, I need to build connectors to all of these different elements that I've created. Maybe it's a connector to my actual things, my IoT things. Maybe it's a connector to an external Amazon database. There's all sorts of different connectors that we have here to make it easy to just click through using this methodology to connect different elements of your system together. And once that is done, this is the dynamic ETL that we talked about before. So once these elements are instantiated in the previous steps, the system knows they're there. So you can go and pick the different elements that you want to pull from in your ETL transformations. Once that's done, the system sees all of the information that is there. This is actually looking at that remote generator that we were talking about before. So the system sees all of the different telemetry information that is associated with that. You can add it into the collection. You can operate on it using Spark functions or using user-defined functions, where you can just wrap these transformations in the dynamic ETL in order to transform the data. And then once that's done, what do you want to do with the data? Well, the system sees all of the different possible sync points that have been instantiated, and so all you have to do is click through to create the output that you want from the ETL. I already showed you this user-defined function that was used in that transformation. This particular one is analyzing. It's pulling data from an AI ML workflow in order to push data into a collection that could be used for digital twin creation, etc. We also have the ability to integrate entire containers. So you may have your entire development process as a key piece of your application that you want to develop from full code development. So that could be front end, it could be back end, it could be sort of middleware, it could be entirely separate third-party applications that get containerized and then pulled in and instantiated into the application. And that's a holdover from another slide. And then beyond that, we've also, as I said, we've integrated a lot of AI and ML tools into the workflow. We've got auto insights, auto ML, anomaly detection, custom machine learning, modeling, video analysis, audio analysis, object detection, face detection. And the beauty of this is there's a lot of tools that we've built in to make AI and ML accessible to folks that are not deeply involved in that entire area of expertise. But you can also connect the system easily to Watson or TensorFlow or AWS SageMaker, et cetera. Build your models there and use the information from that modeling in your application. One last thing I'll show on the platform before I jump back to the slides is the ability to connect edge nodes to the platform. So let's say, for example, I've actually got a Raspberry Pi running here on my desktop. Or let me see. Say, for example, I wanted to instantiate a new device. I would pick the device type that I want to instantiate, and then all I have to do is pull this information down to my device, run it, and then I automatically can, then this IoT edge application development environment is instantiated on my edge device. So I can easily connect my edge device to the cloud, pull containers from there, run them on my edge device for an integrated cloud and smart edge solution. Okay. One of the other, so based on that, on what we just went through, of all of the tools that are integrated into the platform for rapid application development, there's a key differentiation about the IoT 83 approach as opposed to our competitors. A lot of our competitors give you this sort of click-through solution, but it's very narrowly defined. It really is more of an IoT edge device concept. We believe that the real market has a much longer tail, where you need a lot more flexibility to build truly powerful applications. You can build applications of multiple different types using the different services and capabilities provided in the platform, connect any external data to any internal data, transform the data, build custom logic, the marketplace and connectors, ETL Studio, Code Engine, AI ML Studios give you full control. So the next myth, IoT has a long gestation time, or put another way, it's a long time before you can realize the return on your investment. So this is these graphs are trying to depict what does it take to get to high customer willingness to pay. The bottom piece is core to any application. You've got to have the core components of the application, and you've got to have the core features of the application. If you're building those from scratch, your application, what you're actually able to deliver over time, is not going to be in this high customer willingness to pay area. This is back to what we were talking about before. Maybe you've got 20 or 25% of your investment on the things that you actually want. Whereas with an application enablement platform, you cut straight to the money. These other pieces are already built for you, and you can focus on what really matters to your customers. So yes, IoT will have a long gestation time doing it the old way, but no, it need not have a long gestation time if you leverage the power of an application enablement platform. So this goes back to the difference between the old way and the new way. With the application enablement platform, all of these components of your solution are already done, and nearly 100% of your effort is on the application itself. And so the difference between the graph that we saw before is you've completely transformed this value to cost ratio, and you've decoupled the business domain from the underlying platform. And one of the things this means is your existing engineering expertise directly applies to application creation, because you don't have to know all about the underlying plumbing and components that go into the application enablement platform. So this drives home the point even more. With the old way of implementing this kind of solution, this old monolithic methodology, you've got all of this different skill sets are required, which is very costly in all aspects. whereas with an application enablement platform, it is highly efficient in all aspects. One of the key things around driving success in IoT is skills. If you require all of the skills needed to build the underlying platform, it's extremely expensive. And not only that, but the skills are in very short supply. There's a lot of different studies that show that 65% of organizations feel a skills shortfall. There's a huge economic deficit in terms of skills. And so leveraging an application enablement platform that lets you use your existing skills to deliver success for your customers is transformational. Okay, another myth. IoT is a standalone and isolated system. I think we showed before how important it is to be able to connect your IoT solution to other elements. But with all of the open APIs and capabilities that are available in an application enablement platform, you can think about your solution in a completely different way. You can leverage the capabilities for a quick on-ramp of multiple solutions, different databases, elements, devices, or even entire third-party applications into your enterprise solution. You can connect other applications via smart APIs from the marketplace and from the containers. You can also centralize, you can create centralized data lake to curate your data stores. And it's a great tool to build versatile processing that you may need, but not have the ability to easily generate in your existing enterprise solutions. And importantly, as we said before, this stuff can be standalone, integrated with your existing applications, or air-gapped for some industrial solutions where publishing this data across the cloud is not acceptable. So the AEP is a complete IoT development environment, but an open system. And so, the ability to connect all of these things together is essential using RESTful APIs. And this interworking example, again, shows connecting using an on-ramp, extension of the data processing, connecting northbound to existing software, and pre-processing and data normalization of data. And you want to be able to connect. Oh, the other key element of this is IoT application enablement platforms. The best of these will provide you with no-code and low-code workflows to accelerate your results. So leveraging, I showed you the IoT application creation screenshots earlier. Leveraging no-code, you just click to configure and dynamically create an entire application. But then using the low-code methodologies, you have a streamlined workflow for custom analytics, custom business logic, custom applications, context and personalization, and more. According to KPMG, low-code platforms dramatically speed creation of sophisticated solutions, which accelerates, reduces your cost, risk, and time to market in a really powerful way. Forrester found that low-code software helps developers make cloud-native applications more than 10 times faster. So the impact is absolutely dramatic. And the IoT 83 Flex platform integrates both no-code, low-code, and full-code through containerization workflows that we discussed earlier. Another integration is the system needs to integrate in a smooth way with your existing security systems. So this is not a standalone system, and this can be integrated with your LDAP, OAuth 2, OpenID, SAML, whatever it is that you need, so that you've got secure access and the ability to manage multi-tenant, multi-project, multi-role permission assignments in a way that is secure and integrated with your overall enterprise. Okay, myth number 7. The IoT journey is long, hard, costly, and risky. Well, yes, using the old methodology, it is. It's, it can be years in order to deliver an enterprise-grade solution. In this slide, we compare the non-AEP methodology of moving from MPV to MVP to first office application to rich feature sets to reliability at scale. This is easily a year plus in order to put all this together. But with an AEP, it doesn't even compare. You go from concept to scale literally in days, and it's built for sort of an iterative process to continue to enhance the application. You get a return on investment almost immediately, and then can continue to enhance your features and capabilities and address the real customer needs as opposed to focusing on underlying plumbing. So the difference, lower cost development, we're seeing up to 6x lower cost development, faster time to market, lower support and DevOps costs, streamlined personalization and multi-tenancy, and lower change management cost. So the application enablement platform works across all of these different industries. It doesn't really matter what your area of focus is. You're going to see these time to market accelerations. You're going to see this dramatic reduction in life cycle costs. So trying to bring this home a little bit more, looking at the old monolithic way versus the new way of building applications. With the old way, you build your application, which is all you really wanted, but you also build the platform services, and you also manage and connect all of the infrastructure. So only a fraction of your time is spent on the application. With the AEP, 100% is spent on your application. You just build this. All of the other tools and services are already enabled. So if we look at an enterprise grade solution that perhaps costs, just as a baseline, $1 million to put together, your support and maintenance would be 20% a year. You'd have to have a lot of skills and tools in order to do this. Your DevOps cost is at least 8% a year, and your infrastructure cost is going to be higher because it is not optimized as an application enablement platform is. To be candid, these are probably very conservative numbers. And what this all means is that in the first year of operations, you're easily going to pay for the, well, now you're only going to pay for the solution, but you're going to actually see cost savings. You have a faster development and lower cost to operate, lower infrastructure cost, no development operations cost, lower or no support and maintenance costs, simpler change management. In this example that we have here, you save $600,000 just in the first year, to say nothing of the other advantages of an application enablement platform. So myth number 8, this is the bonus myth. I have to be a big data expert in order to do IoT. Well, that used to be true, but the barriers to success are removed with the Flex 83 application enablement platform. The historical risks of very high development costs, skill shortages, proprietary closed solutions, high cost to operate and maintain, and industrial grade reliability issues are completely ameliorated with this solution. Flex 83 cuts development cost. It simplifies development itself and allows your team to provide hands-on development or work in conjunction with our IoT experts. And Flex 83 is an open architecture, so whatever you build using it is very portable and reusable. It has integrated DevOps to make it simple to operate, and it is optimized for low-cost operations. And the platform is proven in very high-scale industrial-grade applications to 65 million devices, but it is also scalable for smaller applications. So again, lower development costs, faster time to market, simpler to maintain and manage, flexible personalization, and multi-tenancy. So that is the Busting the IoT Myths presentation. What we would love to do is see if any of you in the audience have got other myths or questions that you'd like for us and our team to address. Nishant, do you want to open?
Yeah, Lee, so I've unmuted all, and I think people can raise their questions. They can put it in the chat window, or they can just raise their hands, and we can pick the questions individually as well. And Lee, while we are broadcasting this, there are a lot of questions that are coming up in terms of what is the learning curve of the platform, who is going to develop on top of it, how their teams or the company organization teams would work on this. So a bit on that is a question, and what kind of engagement model generally we follow in this engagement and all, right? So if we can just pick up those as a part of the Q&A, that would be good. Oh, I see, Lee, you are muted. I just need to check it from the background. So, yeah, I think, but then we can post the answers on the chat as well. That's not an issue. I
Thank
think you're
you. Little technical challenge there. So, what were you asking for us to address, Nishan?
Yeah, so basically, what is the learning curve of the platform? That was one of the question that came up, and then who is going to deliver or who is going to develop on top of this platform? It would be our team, or is it open enough that any of the engineering team can work seamlessly?
Those are, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Those are great questions. So we've done everything that we can to make the application enablement platform extremely easy to use. So particularly in the no-code application creation, it is really intuitive and straightforward. You can create an application. I can create an application in 20 or 30 minutes. Learning how to do it, might take you an hour or two. But then once that's done, that same power is available to really any engineer. The low code and full code application creation workflows are because they're so rich, they're a little bit more complicated. But even those are very straightforward to learn. Now, from a who does the development perspective, if you have a team that is reasonably adept at coding, then what you'll probably want to do is get that team educated on how to use the platform. What we love to do is we love to do sort of a small proof of concept with your team so that they get a hands-on engagement on using the platform and then have an example. So this is an exercise that can be done in a really small amount of time. But we also, work hand in hand with your engineering team to make sure that they understand all the tools and capabilities and best practices in using the platform. Now, should some of our customers, in order to accelerate their time to market, what they want to do is they want to leverage their team for the sort of logic associated with the solution that they're trying to provide, and leverage our team to do things that we might be more familiar with, because it is extremely cost efficient, of course, because we're experts in this platform. So it can be either model. It can be, the customer leverages the platform itself independently, and that is what we've built it for. But we also provide hybrid, where we work with your team, or we will also do custom development services for our customers. All of these models work, and it sort of depends on the makeup of your team to choose the right one. Any
Okay,
other
and
questions?
then yeah, go ahead, Deep.
Yeah, so to address further, our own engineering team is the first guinea pig to use the platform, and they are code developers. And we go through webinar training, and usually what we have found is within 24 hours or 2 trainings, your engineering teams are up and running, building applications on the platform, whether they are click to build, which is just hours, and if you are it's a seasoned coder, then it just takes minutes to bring your environment in and start building applications using the tool sets that we have. Um, So we also provide other abilities, like as you start walking the vertical updates, the vertical cycle, then specific to those verticals, there are certain design patterns that are inherent. Like if you are working in the commercial space and have lights, then how does the light assets connect to the light KPIs? Or versus if you're in fleet, then how does the fleet options match to the fleet KPIs? So we do provide certain accelerants there and data models behind that, against which we have built some applications. But then you start trending into the custom play a bit. But for those custom plays, we still have accelerants available to take you a long distance on which you can start building your business KPIs.
And one other question that came up was, what about ontologies? Some vendors, like for instance, Palantir, are building their concepts based on ontologies. So Deep, if you would like to pick this up.
So we have kept that open. So the design patterns to follow for a particular vertical, we have left that to the application developer to build those. And once those anthologies are built at the application level specific to the domain, then they can be applied for building applications. So you can look at it that this platform provides the Lego blocks, let's say the alphabet, and it does not take or attempt to build any paragraph specific to a particular vertical to ease out the essay in that essay writing in that particular vertical. But it allows you to build the next layer up, which is from the alphabets, build the paragraphs that your vertical needs, so you can write the various essays on top, respective to your verticals, and that's where the ontology layer starts to build in. And this can be easily. Nishant, I don't know, I got muted out again. Is there?
Yeah, you're back now.
So I don't know at what point it happened, but what I was trying to say is that we have the Lego blocks at the alphabet level, so that that can be used to create the paragraphs, which is the ontology layer respective to the vertical, and that layer can be quickly reused to build applications on top for that respective vertical. And most of our clients are dealing with that and like the flexibility of creating their own ontologies and making it very specific as they grow up into the vertical space.
Do you have any other questions for us?
I think Lee, we are good on this, so probably we may have a few questions on the broadcast media. So I think we can prepare the answers for that and then show up on that as well. So we are good to close this. One of the final remarks from you, and then probably we are good to close.
Yeah. So one last remark, Nishant, is one question that we do get quite often is that I am halfway through building my application, or I'm halfway through, picking up a technology stack, or I'm halfway through anchoring myself on AWS or any public cloud. What would be the difficulty in moving things to our platform? And what we have essentially prevented with this application is the double dip, that this platform can exist with whatever investment that you have done, so that you can slowly start to migrate if you want to, but this can totally coexist with any environment, and it can coexist independently, or it can exist independently of the other solutions, or it can coexist and can start to provide immediate advantages by being on this platform, and over time starts to take out the investment or the operational cost of your current systems as you bring those technology sets or applications into the platform.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The ability to migrate an existing application into this platform it's extremely quick, and so it doesn't take very long to migrate an application into the platform. If there's an existing code, that can even be containerized and pulled into the platform, but you can immediately start realizing the benefits of the rapid application development and scalability and new code creation. So this platform pays for itself so quickly that making that migration really is a good business decision.
And the last question that I would like to address before we close up is a question that a lot of engineering heads pose to us. Does it change anything with respect to our engineering processes or the tool sets that we use? And we say, no, this platform allows you to integrate all of your existing tools and services and continue to operate as you're operating today. The platform has the ability of openness, but it also has the ability so you can build your guardrails according to your process. Whether that guardrails means you need a different infra, in which case you can build another AEP or launch another AEP. If it means that you have to separate your user space from one BU business unit to another business unit or an applications, you can create a different tenant. And if you want one application to be different from another application data stores, you can create different data stores or independently even different databases inside the system and clearly distinguish your separation of concerns between your development teams, your staging teams, deployment teams, and production teams. And you can also put the similar guardrails between your development teams and your research teams and your operator teams. So the system has the flexibility to just adapt to whatever engineering process you are using and whatever CI/CD process you are using, so that there is no new learning curve for the developers. So they just develop, and we are making it very easy for them to develop and very easy for the operators to take that development and put it into operations, and the total cost of operations is reduced. And furthermore, it's a single system where all your researchers can be on the system, and once the data is cleaned up for them, they can continue to provide the high level or the next value chain up, which is predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics, and bring it all back into the system in an easy world to create customer value fast.
Well, that's all great, Deep. Thanks for that. So with that, I think we're going to wrap this up. Thank you all so much for attending. We look forward to hearing from you, answer any questions that you may have, and give you a tour of the Flex 83 application enablement platform. I hope you enjoyed this Busting the IoT Myths session, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lee. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you.